What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's me review of a film I've been waiting for forever, Bill and Ted's Face the Music. This, of course, is directed by Parisot. Before we begin, hey, if you like this channel, cool, hit that subscribe button for Movie Emporium. Hit the notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. Cool, if you like this video, cool, hit the like button, as well as comment below on any video that you watch, including this one. So Bill and Ted is a franchise that I hold near and dear to my heart. It's a franchise that is not the most well-respected franchise. It's more of a cult classic type situation of a franchise. But Bill and Ted, Alex Winter, and of course Keanu Reeves are two characters that have such great chemistry. And even though they're kind of stoner airhead type characters, there's something kind of awe-inspiring about them. There's something unique about them. And there is a love and a friendship there that just kind of echoes throughout these three movies. And the first movie I consider a classic in all respects. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. And the second one, it gets a little weird. I mean, it really does. There's some really deep, dark stuff in that movie. The fact that it took 21 years, 19 years if you go off the sequel, to make this movie, and to see it finally come to fruition and present itself into a video or digital format or theater format based on when you see it, I got real excited. I really did. I got goosebumps when I heard this movie was coming out finally, that Parisot was directing, because I like Galaxy Quest so much, that Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves were coming back, that we were having William Sadler come back as the death, and it's about the kind of end of this relationship and the aspects of the ends of, us growing up, because these characters have grown up with us since 1989. So here we are. The movie's finally released digital. Unfortunately, it was not able to get to most theaters because of a certain pandemic that's going on right now. But with that said, we finally have Bill and Ted Face the Music on VOD, or if you're able to see it in the theater, see it in the theater. And so as soon as I clicked the button, press play, I got excited. I got tears in my eyes, and I was ready to watch this movie. And it's basically a story about Bill and Ted. They're about 27 years older, 25 years older, depending on how it is. You think they've created the greatest song of all time. They've united the world, but no. They're kind of lonely schlubs. Of course, Bill and Ted have daughters, as we saw in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey with Elizabeth and Joanna. We, of course, have Samara Weaving, who's playing Thea, which is, of course, Bill's daughter. And we have Brigette Lundy-Paine, who is playing Billy, who is, of course, Ted's daughter. Kind of ironic, the name switch and stuff like that. But Brigette Lundy-Paine is on a whole nother level when it comes to acting in this movie, because she is almost a doppelganger to Keanu Reeves in like every aspect of when he was younger. She looks like him, she acts like him, and she just gives off this aura that she could technically be Keanu Reeves' daughter or Ted's daughter in this movie. And it's the same thing with Samara Weaving to an extent, but I think Brigette Lundy-Paine is doing incredible work in this style of movie. And so Bill and Ted at a certain point are visited by Rufus's daughter, and they are given a task within 77 minutes, which is ironically interesting because at the point they are given this task, there's only 77 minutes left in the movie because it's only a 90-minute movie. So we are heading into real time. So everything we are seeing throughout the rest of this movie is literally minute by minute of how long the movie is, which is really cool because it actually makes it a little stressful and a little kind of cumbersome in trying to get this movie to end. So instead of doing what they should do, they go and try and find the song by stealing the old time booth, which is in the future. And we basically get an adventure of them trying to find the song by maybe possibly visiting other forms of themselves. And we also get the story of the Billy and Thea character looking for musicians, which is very similar to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I'll kind of leave it at that because I don't want to spoil it too much. But with that said, that idea and storyline is a very cool and honestly interesting idea because it fits into the Bill and Ted universe. So I'm watching this film, I'm getting really excited when it's starting, and then it gets about 40 minutes into the movie and we start seeing certain historical figures, and I start getting a very sad, depressed feeling in my stomach and in my brain. I'm starting to realize that I'm not enjoying this movie like I thought I was going to. I was super excited from the trailers. I told you how much I love Bill and Ted, but there is something truly missing in this movie that doesn't feel like a Bill and Ted movie. I don't know if it's the fact that Bill and Ted are given such reduced roles in this movie, even though they're the most important characters in this entire franchise. I don't know if it's the fact that they gave the Samara Weaving and Brigette Lundy-Paine characters so much more time in the movie. I don't know. Maybe my excitement was just too much for this movie, but I feel like this movie was almost a TV made movie that was filmed as a Bill and Ted 3. I still think the chemistry in Bill and Ted are there. I still think they do a really nice job. I think the characters in this movie, like William Sadler and the young girls, and you know, Kid Cudi and the father, of course, Ted's in this movie, really awesome. I think they're fine. I think they're interesting. There's also a robot in this movie that has a really weird character arc, but there's just something oddly missing about the humor of this movie, about the feel of this movie. You know, Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon came in to, you know, write the script, and they're the original co-writers of the script from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey. But it feels like maybe this movie was like 20 years too late, maybe because they waited so long and they kept pushing it off and pushing it off, because this movie is supposed to be made like 10 years ago. Maybe it's the fact that Keanu Reeves is such a huge actor now that when he is in this movie trying to pare himself down, and Alex Winter is actually a very well-respected director right now, it just feels like maybe that this movie has gone past Keanu Reeves in every aspect, so it feels weird to see him in this role. Kind of not what I was expecting. I mean, I don't know if they're, like I said, the chemistry's there, but it just, there's something missing about this movie. It's the pacing. It could use like 10 more minutes. I mean, it's really hard to explain, because when I watch movies like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey, yes, they're short movies, but there's a pacing, there's a feeling to it. There's something kind of kinetic about those movies that's like completely absent here. When the historical figures come in, they don't really have any personality. They don't have like the Abraham Lincolns or, you know, the Billy the Kid or the Sigmund Freud. They're kind of empty vessels. And that's what also kind of truly bothered me about this movie. And then when characters that we know, like Death, are introduced, they're not really in it for very long. And that's also kind of sad and depressing and kind of bothers me a little bit. So it's stuff like that that really kind of affects the mood of what I think about this movie. Maybe I need to watch it a few more times to kind of really grasp the kind of interesting nature of it. I don't know, but I think Dean Parisot still did a competent job, still did a really decent job of, you know, keeping these characters in there. But when they start time hopping and when they start going to try and find this song, maybe the constraints of the time that they were given and that budget they were given kind of made the movie a little bit lesser of a film. I don't know. It's really a strange thing to watch and see when you really love a franchise as much as you do, like I do this one. I will say that the visuals in this movie, the visual effects, are pretty top notch. You know, the look of the time streams, the look of the phone booth going through the time streams, when they go to the different areas and the different times and stuff like that, it looks good, it works good. I just don't think the movie just works as a whole, and that's such a shame. I feel so down by talking about this movie now because I expected so much more from it. But yeah, like I said, it's a movie that's still enjoyable to watch. I still had an entertaining time watching it. I just think it's a lesser entry in the franchise. I think this is definitely number 3 of 1, 2, and 3. I think it's a movie that I won't watch as much as I do Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Maybe I just need to watch it again. Maybe I need to stew on it a little bit. Maybe I need to kind of let it breathe and maybe I'll enjoy it more. But at this point, I feel this is not a great film, not a very funny film. Like I said, I'm glad to see these characters in this movie. I'm glad to see Bill and Ted back, but like I said, maybe it was just too long of a wait, which does happen, unfortunately, when they revive stories. But it's just, there's something missing. There really is. So it's unfortunate, but you know what? It is what it is. It does happen. And like I said, it could possibly be much better in the future for all I know. So, but anyways, that's it. That's my take on Bill and Ted's Face of Music. Yeah. Anyways, hit the comments below. Tell me what you think of this movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you willing to pay the $24.99 that it costs to basically purchase this movie right now? It is also a rental as well. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my channel, as always, hit that subscribe button for Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you like this video, cool. Hit that like button. If you dislike it, you know what? It is what it is. But otherwise, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.